HiRevz Media is sponsored by Born to Ride Motorcycle Magazine. Check out borntoride.com. All right, guys, so we decided the next thing to do was work on the handlebars. So these are the ROX mounts and risers, rather. Pretty neat. I bought a few different ones from them just to try, and I think these are the 6-inch. These might work the best for not having to extend anything, because I can put these down against the stock mount up here, and then the bar should land right there. And I've still got a little bit of slack in here. It raises them up and kicks them back a little bit, just because this is straight in general, so it just kicks them back that way. So I think that's going to work. It's going to bring them up and out just a little bit. So got them loose here. These are 17 millimeter. And now we're going to take the caps loose, and they're bolted from the bottom side. So you get them out of there. All right, guys, so this is the factory Victory risers, and it is kind of tapered there, and it has a little hump that it sits into. And then the factory risers are actually studded. They have a stud that runs down through here, and you can kind of see down in there, so that tapered part, and then the stud goes down. Well, on a Harley one, it's a bolt that goes in. So these are Harley bushings here, so they're designed a little bit different. And I believe the 2012 Victory ones are designed more like a Harley one. So we've got 2003, so it's an earlier one. So what we're gonna do is cut down the rubber probably halfway or more on here, so that it will fit through the top and bottom. And then this factory Harley bushing actually fits perfect in the hole of those risers in the metal. So that'll be kind of metal to metal, barely. And then it'll have rubber top and bottom all clamped together. At least that's our plan. So we're gonna see if that can work. All right, guys, so I did a pretty horrible job cutting this one down, but just had to take some of the rubber off. So I did the other side, and I've got it and the metal bushing down in here, and it fit in perfectly. Like, I don't know if that could have been any better. So now we'll get the one on the bottom and get it onto the bushing. I'm doing it kind of blind, but see if that kind of works. And then we'll put the two metal plates, top and bottom, and then see if we can get it to bolt up down here. All right, dudes, check this out. That couldn't have worked out much better at all. So if you don't have the Harley ones, and these are, I only tighten it by hand, and it's pretty dang rigid. So I've got to tighten it down further, but I'm gonna wait till I get the bars on here. And these are Harley ones, so, and the bushings are Harley ones, but if you trim them down, make it fit, this seems like it's gonna work perfectly. Look at that, beautiful. That's really nice and pretty heavy duty. So that'll bring them up a little bit and look pretty good. Now I've just gotta bust these off and then pull this one on out, and it should be good. All right, guys. So we got the risers on here, and the 6-inch risers from ROX fit perfect on here. Didn't have to change any cables around, nothing. Everything's perfect length, because there's just a little bit extra there anyways. And this fits right. Now what it's done is it's moved it up about 3 or 4 inches, but it's moved it back about 3/4 of an inch. Not super far, but my hands just land perfectly right here. And there, because before it was down and closer this way, and it left my back tweaked just a little bit. This is more of an upright position. The stock, is more like a V-rod, where you're kind of kicked forward both ways. This is more upright, and it gets it a little bit farther away from the fairing, and it looks cool because these are pretty cool custom mounts. And we got them all the way tight. Look at this. This thing, I can't move them at all now. They are really, really rigid. Probably more rigid this way because that stock Harley bushing is going to force itself into the taper. And Harley ones, if you've ever messed with Harleys or apes or anything like that, you can usually move them. These are nice and solid, but you can still tell they're rubber mounted. So this couldn't have been any better. So this is definitely the way to do it. If you have one of these, get some Harley ones, cut them about halfway off, let them fit back together, and use Harley bolts, the big 1/2-inch bolts. They're way stronger than, I can actually feel the bars tweaking a little bit this way, and the risers are not moving. I can actually feel the bend here at the bars, which is kind of funny. So that feels really good. I think this is going to work out perfect for the handlebars. Get the fairing and everything on there. So we'll go back to that. I think that feels way better. It's a really good riding position, just having those up a little bit. A lot more comfortable. Seems to throw into turns a little better. And this thing's pretty high off the ground, and the peg's really high up off the ground. So the bar's been a little bit higher. It feels pretty good, and pretty happy with that. You know, this is more of a canyon rider, kind of performance bagger kind of look we're going for anyways. And Daddy just gave me a pretty huge compliment. You know, I told him that even if I decided to put, you know, the headlight back on, take the fairing on later on, unbolt our deal, I said, I don't think I'd change anything else that I back to, you know, from what I've already changed. And he said the same thing. He said he likes it, pretty much everything. Even the new risers, the handlebars, stuff I've painted, the exhaust. You know, that's a pretty big compliment. So pretty happy with that. So, and I think it's coming along pretty good. I think we've gotten pretty good at building bikes, doing random stuff. So let's see if he's happy with it. Slow speed, this thing still kind of corners like a chopper. If you've ever rode a chopper, they're a little weird because of the rake, but going down the highway, this thing feels really good at higher speeds. And now it seems to corner more like a Harley.